Democrats trying to lose as many seats as possible in November?
Biden's vote-buying student loan cancellation is enormously unpopular. It could cost as much as $1 trillion. And again, it's working folks who are going to pay for the elites.
Senator Elizabeth Warren is calling out Elon Musk after he was named Time Magazine's Person of the Year. She tweeted, "Let's change the rigged tax code so the Person of the Year will actually pay taxes and stop freeloading off everyone else." Musk fired back with a series of tweets of his own, including, "If you opened your eyes for 2 seconds, you would realize I pay more taxes than any American in history this year. Don't spend it all at once. Oh, wait, you already did."
Senator, let's turn to President Biden's decision to cancel billions of dollars in student loans. You've been pushing for this for a long time. It was a key part of your presidential campaign, and yet this debt relief is not as much as you wanted. Are you disappointed that President Biden didn't go further?
You know, you hear all the Democrats, and they've got these grand plans to do great things, but who's going to pay for it? Well, they always have the same mantra. It's they're going to soak the rich.
One thing we need to do is to get the billionaires to actually pay income tax. We have a debt problem partly because the very richest people just aren't paying. We all understand the importance of making sure that billionaires who've been paying virtually nothing in taxes.
I don't mind being taxed more. I wrote a blog 20 years ago saying it's the most patriotic thing you can do after military service is pay your taxes, because that's what allows everybody, you know, to live and to prosper. But yeah, the idea of just soak the rich, billionaire tears, let's sell that cup. Screw you, Elizabeth Warren. You're everything wrong with politics.
Okay. Top 1% of taxpayers paid $616 billion in income taxes, which is 40% of all income taxes
paid. It takes Joe Biden 2 minutes to spend that.
I am so happy to see what has happened. I recognize that right now, hardworking families, middle-class families, working-class families have gotten some real relief.
Just more evidence that the Democrats truly have forgotten the working class in America.
It's the actual impact of the debt, which doesn't go away.
People understand that more spending equals higher, not lower inflation.
No, that's awful. No, I'm not okay with that.
And it's the working folks of the middle class that are going to have to pay the higher taxes in that bill.
Think about it this way. Most of the relief that the president has given, remember, the majority of people are going to get $20,000 in student loan debt relief. 40% of the folks who have student loans do not have a college diploma, a 4-year diploma.
I don't know if this will be educational. We came up with a test. The test is very simple. Name a country, any country.
Can you name any country on this map?
Is this South Africa?
Nope.
Is this one Europe?
No.
This one?
No.
Was this Africa?
No, again, that's South America.
No idea.
Can you name a country in South America?
Okay, this is South America.
Yes, can you name a country in it?
No, I can't.
Did you go to high school?
Yes.
Did you go to college?
Yeah, that's a sad part.
A university education is often unnecessary.
These are people who are truck drivers and who are nail technicians and nurses, aides. They are actually going to get their debt canceled out.
We have to do a more persuasive job of making a case for the opportunities that exist. And if we don't, we're going to have a workforce that is wildly out of balance with itself.
We're going to have a shortage of plumbers, electricians.
And that means they're going to be able to build stronger futures for themselves and for their children.
I would have actually tied it to the hard-to-fill jobs. We have 10 million job openings right now in our country. 2 million of them are in healthcare, assisted living.
This is about America investing in people who work hard, who play by the rules, and who just need a government on their side.
Biden's vote-buying student loan cancellation is enormously unpopular. It could cost as much as $1 trillion. And again, it's working folks who are going to pay for the elites.
And Joe Biden has done what Joe Biden does best. He has delivered for working families.
Okay, but the poorer 2/3 of American kids who don't get a college degree are going to say, why should the people who didn't go to college and make less money subsidize the people who did go? and make more.
On that note, Senator, I want you to listen to one reaction from a small business owner who thinks that he has played by the rules. His name is Brian Lonsberry.
We have done the sacrifices, the no vacations, the no out to eats, and now I'm on the other side. The reason it upsets me so much is, are we setting a good example?
Dirty Jobs began as an attempt to reconnect the country to fundamental things. Where's your energy come from? Where's your food come from? I think a lot of people are starting to feel untethered from the basic underpinnings that make things sane and commonsensical.
It's a little upsetting that we kept paying and struggled and through everything, and then other people just gave up and quit. And I wasn't raised to quit.
Everyone is aware of the lie, and we're supposed to just deal with the fact that we know it's a lie and say something that is untrue.
What do you say to Brian and others who say that this is really not fair, that a student loan is just one kind of debt and there are other people who don't have that but have other struggles that the government isn't helping them with?
There are other people in America, the vast majority of Americans didn't go to college, and they don't have college loans, so they're a little pissed about this.
You know, I think a lot about fairness, and I think about how education debt is different from other debt.
Well, citizen, that's an excellent question, and I thank you for it. I think it's great we live in a town where you can ask questions, because without questions, we just have answers. And an answer without a question is a statement.
I look at it this way. I wanted to be a public school teacher from the time I was in second grade. My daddy ended up as a janitor, and there was no money for me to go to college. But I found a public university that cost $50 a semester. And for a price I could pay for on a part-time waitressing job, I finished a 4-year diploma. I became a special education teacher, and it opened 1 million doors for me.
Didn't even say anything, and they're eating it up.
Lois, undecided voters are the biggest idiots on the planet. Try giving short, simple answers.
That opportunity is not out there today for any of our kids.
It's not about affordability. Yes, college is unaffordable. It's about making college more unnecessary. It's a giant scam. It's a consumer product. 50 years ago, 70% of good jobs required a high school diploma. Now, they say 70% require a college degree.
Our public education system is no longer creating opportunities for kids like me and other kids whose families can't afford to write a check.
And the result is that poor communities have less money to educate their children, and rich communities have more money to educate their children. This is crazy. It means basically that the kids who have the greatest needs have the fewest resources.
Public education, that to me is where the money should be going.
Instead, we're saying to these young people, you've got to get an education, but we are going to wrap the chains of debt around you. And for many, you're going to be paying it for decades into the future, including getting Social Security checks garnished.
How much money before I can feel safe again? I threw a 10. See that 10 there? I threw that.
So I know this is like supposed to address income inequality, but it kind of does the reverse.
It's the actual impact of the debt, which doesn't go away. It just sort of shifts hands from the borrower to the federal government.
Americans are angry, they're disappointed, and they are worried about the future of this country. Just 21% of adults say we are headed in the right direction. And once again, 3 out of 4 Americans say we are on the wrong track. In fact, this number, never before in our poll, has this wrong track number been over 70% for this long. It's been nearly a year now. 58%, by the way, say America's best years are behind us. That's an all-time high in our poll.
That's what they think Americans will vote for in November? Their great unraveling is underway.
Biden's economic approval dropping 5 points from our last survey to just 30% now. The president never had Republicans and has now firmly lost independents and even a chunk of Democrats and key demographic groups who put him in office.
I'm going to jump in here just real quick to bring up an article that I just found. It is student loan house of cards is collapsing. How much will Joe Biden's student loan scheme cost? It's a simple question that should have a clear answer. But now, more than a week after his announcement, Joe Biden and his team don't have one, even when pressed repeatedly. Of course, there's a clear answer. The latest Penn-Wharton model shows the Biden plan will add more than $500 billion to the deficit. The National Taxpayer Union Foundation estimates every taxpayer, most of whom never took out a student loan themselves, and many who faithfully repaid their student loans, will effectively be charged $2,500. The so-called forgiveness will cost more as a one-time expense than it has cost to fund the school lunch program since 2000, more than 2 decades. We, the taxpayers, need to pay attention to what our politicians are spending our money on. This video was a perfect example of Elizabeth Warren, a senator, someone who keeps getting elected. Who keeps electing this person and these people like her, who clearly don't understand anything about taxes, who want to tax the wealthy, but every time that taxes come up to actually tax the wealthy, they don't do anything about actually changing the tax code to tax the wealthy. The taxes always fall on the middle class to increase. Not to say that the wealthy don't pay 40% of all taxes and federal taxes in America, but the fact is that the middle class of America can't keep paying for all these stupid ideas that politicians who don't understand how money works, how money flows, and how business operates in our world are going to just spend our money, and have no consequences or repercussions for their stupid actions. And in most cases, continue to get elected. That's what this is about. It's about giving your money away so that the Democrat Party can get elected. Every taxpayer in America will pay $2,500 to help Democrats get elected because we are the ones paying for their campaign strategy, which is to give away bunches and bunches of money so that taxpayers can pay for them to get elected. And with that being said, if you haven't hit that like and subscribe button yet, go ahead and do that now. Thanks for watching. Later.